be very excited. So I'm hope that everybody mark your calendar. Every Wednesday evening we're on on the big show, and and et cetera, et cetera. So I hope everybody gets a chance to tune in. We're going to have some more some more wide ranging legal topics to talk about. But right now, on the big show, we are going to talk a little bit about some IRS frequently asked questions, right? So we did several shows, several segments about the Dirty Dozen, things that IRS tells everybody watch out for, make sure you don't fall into these big traps, so that's an important thing. But there's also other general knowledge that people ask about taxes and about the IRS. And one of the big questions, according to the IRS themselves, one of the main questions they get asked all the time, people all ask about, how do I make sure that the IRS knows my current address? Because what if I move and I need the IRS to know where I am? Because it's very important. First of all, let me just tell you why that's important, right? It's important because sometimes the IRS sends you correspondence, and rewind time a little bit and pretend it's way old. So the IRS sends things through postal mail. They will not contact you very rarely, and normally they won't contact you by email. So they'll contact you by postal mail, United States Postal Service. And so one of the things that you're responsible for is to maintain your address up to date, your current and correct address up to date with the IRS, because some of the letters that they send, like notice of deficiency comes to mind, right? That's one of the main ones. They will send you some notices, like for example, notice of deficiency. And these notices are time sensitive. All right. So they send you the letter, and let's say you have 30 days or you have 90 days in the case of an NOD. So you're going to have time period certain that you have to respond. Okay. The IRS has a record of when they sent it to you. It's, like in an NOD type situation, that goes out by certified mail. And so the IRS knows when the thing is sent. Start counting, and these things are statutory. So that's written into the law. You can't even ask the IRS, hey, give me a little leeway here. There are certain things that are statutory, and the law requires that if you have an answer to give the IRS, you have to answer them by a certain day. And you told me, well, John, what happens? I moved, didn't get the letter. What happens in that case? Well, on these things, these very important things, it's not the case on everything, but on some of these important things, like a notice of deficiency, for example, if you moved and you did not tell the IRS that you moved, then the law just presumes that you got the letter, because the IRS has a rule. It's called the last known address rule. Okay, so if the IRS has an important notice to send you, like a notice of deficiency, for example, and they send it out on a certain date, tick-tock, tick-tock, not all tick-tock is banned. This tick-tock is not banned. This is tick-tock of the clock ticking away your time to answer that letter, right? And so what you got to do is keep your address up to date, because the law presumes that you received it. They only are required to send that letter to the last known address, okay? That is known as the last known address rule. Very strict about that. There's been court cases fought about this, and it's pretty clear in the law, right? The IRS has an obligation to send some of these very important notices to your last known address. That's why it's important that you keep your address up to date with the IRS. Now, how do you go about doing that? Well, luckily, the IRS wants you to keep your address updated, so they make it kind of easy for you to do that. The very first way that you're going to keep your address updated with the IRS is by filing a new tax return, right? So every year by April 15th or thereabouts, you have to file your 1040 form if you're talking about individuals, right? This applies to businesses as well, but let's talk about individuals. We keep things simple, right? So in an individual case, your year ends on December 31st, and you've got until the 15th day of the fourth month after that. So you got till April 15th, thereabouts, to file your tax return for it to be an on-time tax return, right? So let's say I filed my, tax return, and I did it on the very last day because, humans and life being what it is, like you'd wait until the last day, right? So I filed my 2022 tax return on April 15th of 2023, all right? And I had an old address. I didn't, but let's just say, right? Let's say I put my old address on it. I was still at the address. And then, a couple of months later, June, July rolls around. Boom, I have now moved, right? So if I don't file, one of the ways that let me put it this way. One of the ways that you keep your address up to date with the IRS, if you file a new tax return with a new address, they will go ahead and presume that you intend to change your address, and they will go ahead and change it for you, right? And so when I filed my 22 return in April of 23, I had the old address, I moved, and then when I file my 23 return, April 15th of this year, 24, IRS sees and says, oh my goodness, look at their new address. And so they're going to go ahead and update their records with my new address based on the tax return that I'm filing, okay? So that's the very first and really the most common way. One time IRS folks told me like 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 of the address changes that happen because a person filed a tax return with a new address on it. They'll go ahead, they'll update your record, and that's that, right? Now, let's say some people don't have to file a tax return. Let's say I took it easy and I laid out at the beach all year and I didn't make any income, so I'm not liable for filing a tax return. But let's say, hey, it's a good idea for me to go ahead and keep the IRS up to date on my address anyway, right? One of the ways I can do this is to fill out and send in a Form 8822. So that's Form 8822. And that is just at the top of it, it says change of address. That's your change of address form. You fill that out, you put your old address, you put your new address, you sign it, you date it, you send it to the IRS. Now, if you're going to do that and you're sending it through the United States Postal Service, not casting shade on USPS, they're perfectly good, good folks over there, but I, personally, being the guy I am, I would, if it's important to me to get this to the IRS, think I'm going to go ahead and send that by certified mail. I'm going to get the little green piece of paper with a stamp on it to say what day I sent that. It's going to have a tracking number. I'm going to be able to track it, and I'll know when the IRS received my change of address form. Now, let's say you can't find a Form 8822. You're, Google inhibited or whatever, and you can't figure it out. Well, the IRS makes it even so easy for you that you can write a free form letter, even by hand. Take out a sheet of paper, take out a napkin, take out the back of a taco bag, whatever the heck you want, right? Write on the back of it and say, hey, dear IRS, here's my name, here's my social, here's my old address, here's my new address, please update your records. Boom, sign it, send it in. It does not have to be on an official IRS form. Right? So you can use the form if you want to, but you don't have to. All right? So that's another way that you can do it. And finally, the other way that you can do this, the common way, call up the IRS, 1-800-829-1040. That telephone number is available just pretty much anywhere, right? You can find it online. You can ask me, I'll tell it to you. And so you can find the IRS phone number. Call them on the phone. They will take an address change over the phone. They're going to ask you a couple of questions. What's your name? What's your date of birth? What was your adjusted gross income on your last tax return? Yada yada. But they're going to make sure it's you, and then they're going to go ahead and take your address change over the telephone. Important, guys, everybody out there, keep your address up to date with the IRS. If they send you something important that has time limits on it, that has rights attached to it, if you snooze, you lose, and you might end up, just missing out because the IRS sent a letter to the last known address, and that wasn't your current address, so keep it up to date. And those are the ways that you can go ahead and do that. So my name is John Mitchell, tax attorney, and my number is 713-333-0555. And the the email is jmitchell@cctaxlaw.com. We're going to go to commercial, and we will be right back.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new CareWatch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The CareWatch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. The CareWatch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your CareWatch for free. Don't wait. Call us to get your CareWatch right now. Operators are standing by.
How would you like to go on a 5-star vacation for just $99? We're talking about the quality of a Westgate resort for $99. Not for one night, but for 3 fantastic nights at one of their luxurious destinations across the United States. And you'll even get a free $100 Visa gift card just for making a reservation. We've got some of the choicest destinations that you'll love in the United States that you can choose from for just $99 for a 3-night stay. Take your family, take a special loved one, but get away. Go on vacation with Westgate Resorts. Call now to make a reservation for just $99, and you get a free $100 Visa gift card. Call Westgate right now and book your vacation. Here's the number.
Call 877-930-3491. That's 877-930-3491. Again, 877-930-3491.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back again to Legal Talk. Hope you all took great advantage of that short commercial break. Get up, stretch your legs, get the beverage of choice, hot beverage, cold beverage, whatever it is you like to do. And, you're back with us, and I've got another frequently asked question that the IRS says this is probably their number 2 most requested frequently asked question that they get from taxpayers, right? So we're going to go through and do this whole series and talk about frequently asked questions that the IRS wants everybody to know all about. And you're going to hear about it right here with me on Legal Talk. So one of the big questions that gets asked out there, right? Let's say I filed my tax return and a couple of years goes by, whatever, I don't have a copy of it anymore. Maybe my goat ate my tax return, I don't have a copy, right? So can you contact the IRS and can you get a printout from the IRS of your tax information, all right? One of the things that people like to get a copy of from their tax information from the IRS, let's say, is a W-2 or a 1099. And sometimes you need that because, like, let's say a bank or a mortgage company wants to get that, printout directly from the IRS. I know I've done some immigration work. Sometimes immigration asks for that printout straight from the IRS. And so how do you go about getting that? And how do you get other kinds of transcripts from the IRS, by the way? Start off by saying there are different kinds of transcripts that you can get, right? First of all, you can get a tax return transcript, and that is just a line-by-line computer printout, not a copy. This is a printout of your tax return information as you filed it. Be it correct, be it not correct, however it is that you filed it. When you sent that to the IRS, they put it in the computer. Maybe they made changes later, maybe they didn't, but however you filed it, that is your tax return. And when you ask the IRS for a printout of your tax return, that's going to be what they're going to give you. You're going to get a tax return transcript. Okay? Now, there's another kind of IRS printout, and it's called an account transcript. And if you get an account transcript, what that's going to be is a computer printout, okay? And it's going to have line by line what happened on your tax account. And when I say tax account, I mean, let's say you are an individual, so you're filing a 1040 form, right? So your 1040 is independent year by year. So you have a 1040 tax account for 2023, you have one for 22, you have one for 21, etc., right? So each calendar year and then each type of tax return, that is its own, I'm going to get technical here, but IRS calls that a module. So each thing is its own module, right? So if you ask the IRS for an account transcript, one of the things you'll ask for is they're going to say, okay, tax account transcript, what account, what type tax, what period, right? So I'm going to tell the IRS, I want a printout of my tax account, not tax return, my tax account from 2022, right? For example. And they'll say, okay, John, get that right out to you. They'll mail it, then you'll have a computer printout from the IRS that shows, but it's different from a return transcript. Account transcript says, okay, when you filed your return, you reported this much income, this much in deductions, dependents, credits, etc. This was the tax that you owed, and since then, these are the payments you've made, and these are any adjustments that we've made. The IRS determined, oh my God, you owe extra money. There's going to be a line item there that says that. Oh my goodness, you made a mistake and didn't claim enough credits. There's going to be a line item where they corrected that. So any changes that they make after you file your tax return, that's going to show up on the account transcript, okay? So that's very important. Now, the IRS has another one that sometimes people get. I don't ask for this very often, but it exists. It's called a record of account. And a record of account is a combination of those two kinds of tax transcripts put together. So record of account, and the record of account is only good for, you only can get it for the current year and the 3 previous years, right? So we're in 2024 right now. I would be able to get 23, 22, 21, and up till some date I'll be able to get 20, right? So that's how you go ahead and get a record of account. They're only available for 3 years. But the main thing here that we're talking about is getting wage and income transcripts from the IRS. That's going to be all of your W-2s, all of your 1099s, and all of that, they can send you a printout of it. It's not like right now we're in 24. They barely have, they're barely getting those posted now. So if you call in January or February and say, give me a printout of my W-2s from last year, it's going to come back blank because the IRS does not have that posted to its computer system yet, right? But if you wait until middle of the year or so, you're going to be able to get those printouts from the IRS, and it's going to show one by one all your W-2s, all your 1099s, and that, right? So there's a couple of different ways, three different ways I'm going to mention that you can go about getting these transcripts if you need these printouts from the IRS, right? Number one is you can call the IRS on the phone. That's 1-800-829-1040. You call them up. They go through and verify your information. You set on hold for 2-3 hours maybe, and eventually somebody gets around to taking your call, process it. They send out your transcripts by mail. So, how many days you have to wait for the post office to get it to you, that's what it is, right? So you can do that by telephone. That's one of the old-fashioned ways. Another old-fashioned way to get your tax return, your tax transcripts, is by filling out a Form 4506T. T at the end, right? So I'm going to spill the tea about that. And it's a form that just, you fill it out, you send it in, sign it, you tell the IRS you want printouts of whatever it is, and the IRS will receive that, they'll process it, they'll mail it back to you, right? So you didn't have to sit on the phone and wait for them. Fill out the form, send it in, boom, you're done. Now, what if you, by the way, want an actual copy of the physical tax return that you mailed in? Say you mailed a tax return in, right, by the mail, like that's getting less and less common, but let's say you did, and you want to get an honest-to-God copy of it, right? I did this, have done it a few times recently in the past couple of years because there were disputes about did the taxpayer actually sign the return. So we're going to get an actual physical copy of it, and then we're going to, send that off to have somebody, forensic guy look at it and see if the signature is a real, authentic, original signature or not, right? So there could be a circumstance, there could be a situation come about that you want to get an actual copy of the tax return itself if you mailed it in, and that's the way you do it. You fill out a Form 4506 without the T on the end, right? So 4506, and they're going to charge you a fee. I don't remember what it is. It's like 50 or 60 bucks, I think it is. But it's on the form. You fill it out, you send it in. You got to send in money to pay for this because they're going to actually go to however they do this. I think it's on electronically scanned now, but they used to hold these in giant warehouses. I don't think they do that anymore. But in any event, this is going to be a lot more work for the IRS, so they charge you for the privilege. Now, just getting printouts, they don't charge for that. But if you actually want a copy, if the copy is available, you got to pay. They process the thing, they send it to you, right? Now, the best and most modern way to go ahead and get a printout from the IRS with your tax information is to go ahead and go on irs.gov, okay? And you go in there, there's a link, you click on it, it says create an account. You go through, they check you out, 10 ways to Sunday, right? They check you out, make sure that you're you, right? Because they don't want to be giving your information to somebody else, right? So they go through all this, check from your credit report, they pull from different data sources, go through a verification, and if that verification passes, boom, they open you up an online IRS personal account. And if you have a personal account, then you can log into that account. They send you a little code to your cell phone. You put the code, boom, 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 you're in. Okay, now you have access directly, and you can pull those printouts yourself and just download them and print them out right then and there. It's great. It's really kind of cool, kind of nice service that the IRS gives us. And if you want to, you can try that. irs.gov. Create an account, log into that account, print things out to your heart's content, right? So if you have any questions about taxes, you need anything IRS related, I'm your guy, John Mitchell, tax attorney, Houston, Texas. We are at 713-333-0555. And you can find me also through my email address, jmitchell@cctaxlaw.com. com, and we're going to go to some commercials. We'll be right back. Stick with us, folks. I got more good information for you here on Legal Talk.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
The legal profession is not immune to the disruptive power of artificial intelligence. AI is reshaping the way lawyers research, analyze, and manage legal matters. AI-powered legal research tools can sift through vast volumes of legal documents, statutes, and case law in seconds, providing lawyers with comprehensive insights to build their cases. In courtrooms, AI is used to manage and present digital evidence effectively. It can organize and analyze evidence, making complex cases more understandable for judges and juries. In contract review, AI quickly identifies potential risks, inconsistencies, and compliance issues in legal contracts, saving valuable time and reducing human errors. The future of law is being shaped by AI. AI is streamlining legal research, improving courtroom presentations, enhancing contract analysis, and making legal information more efficient and accessible. Data Dive, infinite insights instantly.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low-cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hi, my name is Michelle Merhar. You may remember me from the morning news. I'd like to tell you how getting data and documents into action fast gives you a competitive edge. Digital-first thinking to manage document workflows efficiently are giving all organizations a competitive edge. In fact, digital document automation is an essential process, helping us to become more profitable and to compete. By making any process paperless with secure automation, decisions can be made efficiently, virtually from anywhere. You'll be able to find and share documents securely in seconds. Your staff will be empowered by making optimal use of every office hour. And by the way, the size of your organization doesn't matter. Precision Products has been helping organizations for more than 30 years with paper to digital processes, including scanning systems for any document to premises and cloud document management systems. We make it easy and scalable for your business process needs from the office or other locations, even mobile devices. Contact us to see how we can help your organization succeed. Contact Will Waterall direct at 713-446-5939 and visit us on the web at precisionproductsinc.com.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
All right, welcome back again, everybody, to Legal Talk. Thank you for sticking with us. Hope you enjoyed that quick commercial break. Get up, stretch your legs, whatever it may be. And now you are back with us, and I hope that you're comfortable. Hope that you're ready for some more good information about taxes, right? So one of the things, by the way, we're doing a kind of a frequently asked questions, right? So what is the most common questions that people have for the IRS about their taxes? And one of the things that always comes up, oh my God, John, I made a mistake on my tax return. I forgot to add in the thing. I forgot to carry the one. I forgot to put the decimal point in the right place, wherever it may be, right? So how do I make a correction to my tax return after I've already filed it? And how does that work? And I'm going to explain all about that right here in this segment for you, right? Okay, so let's talk about individuals, all right? So an individual person, flesh and blood, like me, like you out there watching, right? I don't think we got any corporations watching the big show today, any LLCs pulled up and comfy on their couch, right? So we're all flesh and blood human beings watching this show, I'm assuming, right? I hope that's the case. So let's say you're an individual, you filed your tax return, you're going to make a correction to it, right? So as an individual, what you're filing is a 1040, 1040 form, right? So you're going to file that 1040, boom, you got it filed. Oh my God, I made a mistake. Now what do I do? Well, the way to correct your tax return is with a form called a 1040X, 1040-X at the end, right? And that tells the IRS that you are making a correction. And the technical term the IRS says about this is it is an amended return. Now, we can get even more technical and say if you make that correction before the original filing date, it's not really amended. That's now called a superseding return, right? So it takes the place of the other one, right? So amended return 1040X. Now, how do you get that filed? Years ago, there used to be a rule. The process was that you can file your original tax return, the 1040 form, electronically. So you can log into your software and your computer, click, 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 clack, clack, clack. Here you are. Boom, you got a tax return. Hit the send button. It goes off to the IRS through the interwebs, right? Now, that has been around. I'm trying to remember when they first started electronic filing. Now, I've been doing taxes. I started off doing taxes by hand. I was in 1990 doing 1989 tax returns, right? We used to drive down to the IRS office, pick up stacks of forms, bring them back to the office and sit down and fill out, and then after 2 or 3 years, when things grew a little bit, practice got, a little bit busier, then I finally invested in some software. Drake, by the way, shout out to Drake Software. This is not sponsored, but that's great tax software if you're a tax professional. And so I started using software. And so you can electronically file the original return, but for many years, you could not file an amended return, a 1040X. Right? And I think it was, I don't know this exactly, don't quote me on this, but it's about 4 or 5 years or so ago. So we're in 2024, so maybe around 2019, 2018, whatever it was, that is when you were able to go ahead and start filing amended tax returns electronically, okay? And at first you could only do the most recent one. So let's say, just as an example, let's say it's 2020, I just filed my 2019 return, a couple of months goes by, oh my God, I need to make a correction. Well, I can go back in and I can electronically submit another 2019 return, right? Or 2018, what did I say? The most recent one it was, right? But I can't go back further years back. Now, I believe, and I don't do a lot of return preparations, I'd have to look this up, but it's at least 3 years. I know it's at least 3 years you can go back. So here we are, 2024, so we can file amended returns electronically, 23, 22, 21, all right? Now, you got to keep in mind, if you're going to file any kind of tax return correction, right, any kind of 1040 that you're going to file, you got to think about why you're going to file this tax return, right? If you have discovered a mistake and you want to file a tax return so that you can get more money back, there is what is known as an RSED, refund statute end date. So basically, it's 3 years. You can't go back further than 3 years. So I can't sit here today, and we're in 2024, and I can't say, oh my God, I made a mistake on my 2015 tax return. I'm going to file an amended tax return. I'm going to get that extra money back, right? IRS owes me money. Well, guess what? That money is long gone. Bye-bye, because there are time frames for doing this, right? Otherwise, the system would just collapse on itself. Things have got to have some kind of level of finality to them, right? And so they can't allow you to go back and correct tax returns and get money back years and years later, right? It's a couple, 2, 3 years, a period of time. You can do it. After that, you can't do it anymore. Now, when it's a 1040X and the filing date has already passed, the IRS is not obligated by law to even process that amended tax return. They can decline to do so, right? And I've seen that happen. Now, one of the things that I said, you got to make sure that you're doing, you got to realize, why are you filing a corrected tax return in the first place? If you're doing that because there's a mistake in your favor, you're not going to get money back, but let's say you owed money. Oh, I accidentally filed my return in such a way that I owe $10,000. Oh my God, I came to see John and I figured out it was filed wrong. There's an error. I didn't really owe $10,000. I only owed $5,000. Well, let's say I haven't paid that money yet. So what I can do is, there's this $10,000 debt sitting on my account at the IRS. They think I owe $10,000. I'm going to file an amended tax return and say, oops, mea culpa, so sorry, I filed it wrong. I don't owe $10,000, I only owe $5,000, right? So I can do that because now I'm abating tax that wasn't really due in the first place, right? Get your mulligan, right? You get your do-over. You can now go back even after the refund statute end date. You can still go back and abate taxes by filing a 1040X, right? Now, I said the IRS doesn't have to process these, and they don't, but you have a right to not pay. It's in the Taxpayer Bill of Rights. You have a right to not pay any more tax than is actually due, right? So there's another process that you can go through if the IRS declines to process your 1040X, right? So there's a backdoor way to take care of it. I'm not going to go into that. I'll do probably another segment on that sometime in the future, but suffice to say that you can file your 1040X electronically up to 3 years back. And you can, if it's more than 3 years, you're not going to get a refund, but you can file it on paper, send it to the IRS. They'll most likely process it. It's pretty rare in my 30 years I've been doing taxes. Kind of rare to see the IRS not process this if you've got a good valid reason for filing it, right? So you can, answer being yes, you can amend your tax return, 1040X. You can do it on paper up to 3 years back. You can do it electronically, and that is the way it is as far as amended and corrected tax returns. So if you have any questions about taxes, once again, John Mitchell, tax attorney extraordinaire here in Houston, Texas, 713-333-0555, and my email address, jmitchell@cctaxlaw.com. And we will go again for some commercials. We'll come right back and we'll have the final good segment. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere. And thank you for being here on Legal Talk.
How would you like to go on a 5-star vacation for just $99? We're talking about the quality of a Westgate resort for $99. Not for one night, but for 3 fantastic nights at one of their luxurious destinations across the United States. And you'll even get a free $100 Visa gift card just for making a reservation. We've got some of the choicest destinations that you'll love in the United States that you can choose from for just $99 for a 3-night stay. Take your family, take a special loved one, but get away. Go on vacation with Westgate Resorts. Call now to make a reservation for just $99, and you get a free $100 Visa gift card. Call Westgate right now and book your vacation. Here's the number.
Call 877-930-3491. That's 877-930-3491. Again, 877-930-3491.
If you're on supplemental oxygen, heavy and awkward tanks can be a burden. Now you can leave home and leave the tanks behind with Inogen, portable oxygen therapy that moves with you.
With my Inogen, now I'm able to do the things that I've always loved. I just press the button here, and there's my oxygen.
Inogen systems are so small and light, you're free to leave the house without the hassles of an oxygen tank.
I could play golf again. I could go grocery shopping. I'm free again.
With the Inogen, I can handle my own oxygen. I can carry my own oxygen. I go anywhere with this. Look how small it is.
And right now, you can try an Inogen portable oxygen system for 30 days risk-free. Call us right now. If you qualify, we'll send you an Inogen system to use for 30 days risk-free. Your insurance may even cover your new Inogen system.
If you're on oxygen, you need to be using an Inogen.
Call 800-367-1753. That's 800-367-1753.
Hi, my name is Michelle Merhar. You may remember me from the morning news. I'd like to tell you how getting data and documents into action fast gives you a competitive edge. Digital-first thinking to manage document workflows efficiently are giving all organizations a competitive edge. In fact, digital document automation is an essential process, helping us to become more profitable and to compete. By making any process paperless with secure automation, decisions can be made efficiently, virtually from anywhere. You'll be able to find and share documents securely in seconds. Your staff will be empowered by making optimal use of every office hour. And by the way, the size of your organization doesn't matter. Precision Products has been helping organizations for more than 30 years with paper to digital processes, including scanning systems for any document to premises and cloud document management systems. We make it easy and scalable for your business process needs from the office or other locations, even mobile devices. Contact us to see how we can help your organization succeed. Contact Will Waterall direct at 713-446-5939 and visit us on the web at precisionproductsinc.com.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to this last and final segment of Legal Talk for today. Man, oh man, it's been wonderful. It's been great. And, I hope and pray everybody's going to be back for the future episodes. I hope you watch forever, right? I hope you watch for the rest of your life, Legal Talk. So we've got a good final segment for you today. Again, talking about frequently asked questions, right? What kind of things are the most common things that people ask the IRS? Okay? And one of the things that always gets asked, and this is right up towards the top of the list, right, is what happens if I was expecting to get a tax refund and I didn't get it, right? What if I didn't get it? Well, we're going to talk about that right now, and we're going to go into a little bit about how I'm going to really briefly, just very like 2 minutes, I'm going to talk about tax refunds, right? Why is it that you get a tax refund? Now, first of all, about approximately 7 out of 10 people that file tax returns in the United States get some kind of a tax refund back. That's the most common thing, right? Sometimes people end up paying in, so file your return, write a check, send it in, whatever it may be, swipe a credit card, whatever it is. Most people, though, get tax refunds back. So tax time, there's this whole thing for people outside of the United States. They might not know this or might not realize it, but there's this whole thing in our society, in our culture here in the United States. February, March, April rolls around, it's tax time. Everybody's talking about what are you going to do with your tax refund? I get money from the government. They think it's free money. It's not. But, they're getting a check back. They're getting a direct deposit, whatever it may be. You're getting some money from Uncle Sam, and now it's time to go out and, have a nice vacation or maybe buy some furniture. A lot of people use it for a down payment on a car, whatever it may be. Some people are super responsible, and they take that money and put it in a savings account or an investment account, and that's the way they handle it. But it's a very common thing here in the U.S. People get money back from the IRS towards the first of the year, right? First couple of months of the year. What happens, though, if you're sitting there checking your bank, or checking your mailbox, checking it, you never got the refund. Oh my God, what do I do now? Well, first of all, there is a tool on the IRS website called Where's My Refund? So the very first thing you should do, if you think that there's money coming your way and it hasn't gotten to you yet, and it's getting past the time, and you're getting kind of antsy, you're getting kind of anxious, oh my God, what happened to my money? Did North Korean hackers steal it? What happened, right? The first check that you should do, the first thing you should do to check on that is to go to the IRS website, www.irs.gov. Somewhere on that first page, because they move it around a little bit sometimes, but it's right there in the first page. Click on it. Where's my refund? You're going to fill in some information. As best I recall, you're going to put your social, you're going to put your filing status, you're going to put your amount of money that you were expecting to get back, right? I think that's the three things that they ask for. And you can check on the status, and it will show up. Looks just like the Domino's pizza, pizza tracker, if you've ever seen that, right? I don't know if that's still a thing. I haven't ordered Domino's in way too long. Now I'm hungry. I want some pizza. But in any event, it's got a little status bar, and the status bar crawls across and shows you what stage you're at, and shows you, has your refund been sent? When should you expect it? Et cetera, right? So the IRS makes it nice and easy and graphical so that you can see where your refund is, what's the status of that, right? So one of the things that you do, if you check, and it's what if you check and the IRS says, we sent your direct deposit on the 15th of the month, and it's now the 25th of the month, 10 days have gone by. Now, direct deposits do not take 10 days to hit your account, right? Something's wrong. First thing I would do if I woke up in those shoes and said I was expecting money, well, I'm going to go back and look at my tax return and say, well, is the routing number correct? Is the account number correct? If it looks correct, then I'm going to, call my bank and say, hey, what's going on? Is there some kind of processing error, et cetera, et cetera? Bank. So let's say in this case, the bank tells me, oh no, John, that's your correct account number. That's your correct routing number. Everything's correct. But guess what? We haven't gotten anything. Okay. So now my next, contact is going to be with the IRS, because if they're saying they've sent it and it didn't get to me, I'm going to have to call them, 1-800-829-1040, call up the IRS and say, hey, I did not get my refund. What's going on? They should be able to check that for you, right? And sometimes it happens that the refund went to processing errors. Rare, but it does happen. I've seen it. And to the wrong bank account number, it got truncated, it means that, last digit got cut off, whatever it is, and it went. Now, if this money went to an actual bank account, then the IRS is going to have to fight with the bank to kind of claw that money back, right? So if the person that received the money is honest and they said, call up their bank and said, hey, this money is not mine, there's this mysterious money from the IRS showed up in my account, well, good for them, they're honest, right? Even if they didn't, that doesn't mean the money's lost, right? If you were supposed to get money and you didn't get it, IRS is going to hook you up. They're going to take care of you, and they're going to try their best to claw back that money, but they're not going to make you wait. They're going to go through a whole process, and they're going to send you. If it went electronically the first time and you didn't get it, they're not going to send it electronically again. So now you're going to have to make sure that you have your correct address on file with the IRS, right? Remember keeping your address up to date? Well, that's one of the important reasons. They might send you a check. So if you didn't get the direct deposit, then you're going to get a check in the mail. So it'll be a nice yellow Treasury check. It's got a Statue of Liberty on it. Made out to you. You endorse it. Sign the back of it. Take it down to the bank, deposit, cash it, whatever you do, and that's going to be the way you take care of it. Now, how long does it take for that check to get out to you? Well, that check, the Treasury check, it takes several weeks for them to process. So you're probably talking, if you did your tax return and did not ask for a direct deposit, and it's just the first time they're processing it, you're talking maybe 4 weeks or so, right? Maybe 5. But it's right at about a month for them to send you that check and for it to actually arrive in your mailbox, right? Now, if you're asking for a check because a direct deposit didn't get made, whatever, something was wrong, that's so much longer. It might be 6, 7, 8 weeks. They will send you a check, though. Got to be patient. You got to wait for it, but it'll get there eventually, right? And the other situation that sometimes comes up, somebody got a check, or they were supposed to get a check. They didn't get it, and it's maybe the IRS sent it to the wrong address. You didn't update your address like I told you to, Form 8822. Or perhaps, something was wrong with the post office. The check got intercepted, got lost in the mail on the way. I've also seen that happen. So one of the things that you do is the IRS, they might take care of this over the phone if nobody has cashed a check. If they check on this and find out that the check has not been negotiated, they should be able to, over the phone, cancel that check and issue you a new one, right? But what happens if the check has already been negotiated? Now you're in trouble. Not in trouble, but there's going to be a lot more hurdles, right? It's going to be hoops to jump through. You're going to have to now fill out a form and swear under penalties of perjury. Raise your right hand, put a left hand on the Bible. Not really, but it seems like, right? And you're going to have to swear to the IRS that you are not the one that cashed that check. Not only that, they make you say that you didn't cash it. You don't know who cashed it. You didn't give anyone else access to or permission to cash that check for you, right? And so that's the way that works out. They will cancel the old check and they will issue you a new Treasury check. And that also takes 6, 7, 8 weeks, right? So strap yourself in, get comfortable. If you're waiting for a replacement check from the IRS, it's going to take a while, but they will issue it and it will eventually get to you. So that's the steps that you would take if you were expecting a tax refund and did not get it. All right? So you got more questions about this or about any other tax topic, I love to talk to people. So you can always call me up at my office, 713-333-0555, or even better, send me an email, jmitchell@cctaxlaw.com. If you have questions, I might do one of 3 things, right? I might hop on the phone with you, call you up, we chat for 5 minutes and talk about your question and talk about my best answer, right? Number 2, I might send you an email. If it's a little bit more long and involved, I'll write you back an email and say, here's the best answer I have to your question. Number 3, what I might do is I might make it into a topic and talk about it here on the big show. And then you'll be watching and you'll say, oh my God, I sent John that question and now here he is talking about it on the big show. So hopefully that happens so that other people can also have access to that good, relevant answer. All right? So thanks everybody for being with me on the show today. Really appreciate it. And we will see you next time on Legal Talk.
This has been a NowMedia Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Las urnas y las redes de fotos. Ganemos cada casilla de cada colonia. Somos más los que queremos el cambio. El cambio ya llegó.
Santiago Taboada, candidato a jefe de gobierno. El cambio viene. Coalición va por la Ciudad de México.
El PRI sí resuelve. Vota PRI.
Nuestro futuro está lleno de oportunidades. Somos mexiquenses trabajadores, dedicados y honestos, que día a día luchamos por un mejor futuro para todos. Nos esforzamos por un Estado más seguro, con una educación de calidad que impulse el desarrollo. Lo hacemos de la mano de Nueva Alianza Estado de México, un partido nuevo, honesto y transparente, comprometido con el progreso y el bienestar de todos los mexiquenses. Este 2 de junio vota por las candidatas y candidatos de Nueva Alianza.
El futuro de México está en tus manos. Que nadie te quite la oportunidad de soñar. Sí se puede. Sí puedes tener un buen empleo. Sí puedes tener tu primera vivienda. Sí puedes emprender tu negocio. Sí puedes salir a la calle sin sentir miedo. Con tu voto, esos sueños se harán realidad. Este 2 de junio, escucha tu corazón. Sin miedo, México.
Vota Xóchitl Presidenta, candidata de la coalición Fuerza y Corazón por México.
Llegó la hora del cambio. Vota PAN. He recorrido una y otra vez las 16 alcaldías de la Ciudad de México y estoy de acuerdo contigo. Ya no más. Ya no más el metro que se cae y el transporte público insuficiente. Ya no más inseguridad y la falta de agua. Ya no más la falta de oportunidades para jóvenes y mujeres. El cambio está en tus manos. El cambio viene. Este 2 de junio, vota por el cambio. Soy Cintia López Castro, tu senadora de verdad.
Cintia López Castro, candidata a senadora de la Ciudad de México por la coalición Fuerza y Corazón por México.
El PRI sí resuelve. Vota PRI.
Soy candidata en estas elecciones, pero no me permiten realizar mi campaña política.
En mi comunidad